Have you ever been listening to a podcast and you heard something and it just stuck in your mind? And then just a little while later, it was like, boom, a light bulb went off in your head. You got a swift kick in the pants and you remembered, man, I'm getting ready to make that same mistake I made not even that long ago. I didn't learn my lesson. I'm screwing up again and it's going to lead to a lot of issues. Well, that's what happened to me just recently. And I know it's something that's important that I needed to share with you that's going to help you in your journey to becoming a profitable, purposeful entrepreneur. So please make sure you listen to this episode. It's got a lot of value for you guys, and it's going to make sure you're able to serve your tribe and reach those people whose lives you want to change. I spent the last few years building a successful online business while learning from some of the most brilliant marketing minds and coaches on the planet. And now, I've walked away from that business to start over again from scratch. Why? Because, like you, I felt the calling of contribution and the all-consuming need to create a business giving me the freedom to put fatherhood and family first, while fulfilling my calling to share my expertise in order to serve and impact others in a positive way. Join me now as we walk the path together to create the life and business of our dreams. I'm Evans Putman. Welcome to the journey of the profitable, purposeful entrepreneur. What's happening, profitable, purposeful entrepreneurs? As you know, when I introduced this podcast, I shared with each of you that I am creating this podcast as a way for you as an entrepreneur to follow me on my journey to creating a profitable, purposeful business, starting from square one. And as a part of that, I really want to share not only the ups, but the downs, but also things that I learn that I find very valuable. So that's what we're going to do in today's podcast. And this is sort of a follow-up, even though I didn't intend it to be, to the last podcast, which in that podcast we discussed how as entrepreneurs starting something new, we can be paralyzed because we have this big vision and we want to get everything perfect before we start. Right. So we focused on, if you haven't listened to the last episode, you might want to stop this one now and go back and listen to it. But it really doesn't matter. You can listen to this one first and then go back if you want to as well. So in the last episode, we discussed how when you're stuck, when you are paralyzed with too much overthinking, trying to get everything perfect, the best thing you can do is, instead of focusing, let me step that back a minute. What you should do is to focus on completing a thing and stop worrying about the thing. Okay. So focus on a thing instead of the thing, the being the big picture thing. Just get started is basically what we're saying. So that's what I did. And I'm telling you, it gave me a lot of momentum. I'm actually in the middle of creating something for entrepreneurs to use, something that I know will help immensely, something that I have a proven track record in providing to other entrepreneurs and helping them. So that's what I'm starting on. And it's not necessarily the thing that I wanted to start. It's a thing. So in the process of doing that, I wanted to share with you what I learned, because I think this will really, really help, because it was very synchronistic how this happened right after I decided to just focus on a thing and get started. Because even though I started on a thing, I started to overcomplicate it. I started to see it as this big, massive idea and a big course that I'm going to offer. And it was a little bit, I procrastinated getting started. I'll say that, probably because of fear of the unknown, and also because it was so big. Like, where do I start? So what I did was, and this is something that I credit to a podcast I heard from Russell Brunson, one of my mentors, who you'll probably get tired of me talking about, but if you're not listening to the Marketing Secrets podcast, I suggest you should definitely. What I heard him say that just blew me away and got me back into momentum quickly on this new thing that I'm working on right now as I record this is to start with simplicity and then introduce complexity. Start with simplicity and then introduce complexity. So the way I took that, and from hearing his context, the way I took it and what it helped me with was, okay, I'm making this too complex. And it doesn't need to be that complex. It needs to be simple to get started. And then I can introduce complexity further down the road with other products, with group coaching, with, wherever that customer path, that customer journey goes. And here's the thing. Not only does this open you up to getting momentum and getting started and helping you realize you don't need to build a pyramid. You just need to build one of the stones in that pyramid, right? And I want to take you back to something. This is a little bit of a story. This is something that I learned, and obviously I forgot this lesson until I heard this podcast, and I should have known better, because in the last business I was in, while we were very successful, we also ran into some roadblocks, some obstacles along the way. And one of them was we started introducing a membership, because I think at the time we had 12 to 13 courses available that people could get into. Now, these courses weren't small either. Like one of them, I think, was 12 to 15 hours, maybe even more. And that was sort of par for the course. These were long, in-depth courses. They were broken up into nice, small, simple steps, which was good. Each course was probably broken up into a 3 to 5 minute segment that you could watch quickly on your phone, implement it, and then move on. And that was awesome. That is a very smart way to do things. But where we failed was when we introduced this membership, sort of an all-inclusive deal, which we had other things built into this product. I mean, we wanted to create continuity and have that recurring income, which is very important, as you probably know. And if you don't know, you'll discover as you move forward in your journey. But continuity is very important, having that money coming in, knowing you can count on it. Where we failed was we sort of hit them with a tidal wave of information, a tidal wave of value, where you're thinking, hey, that's awesome. You gave them great value for an amazing price. But the problem was we hit people with so much value and so much content in all these courses at once with the additional things we were offering, that when they went into the members area, they were overwhelmed. They didn't know where to start. There wasn't a simple path. And they just got frozen, didn't use it. And then when their trial was up, or when their first 30 days was up after they had paid for a month, we had a lot of cancellations. And one of the biggest things that we ran into was people saying they were just overwhelmed and they didn't have time. Well, we knew time wasn't a factor, because we also knew you could go in and watch 5 minutes at a time and learn and follow these courses. And we had a lot of success doing that with other customers when they bought one course, because when they bought that one course, it was laid out in a simple path for them, right? It was simple. There was simplicity there. When it was laid out, or when we gave it to them, all 13, 14 courses at once, plus all the additional information that was packed into that members area, it was just too much at once, and they couldn't see the path. They couldn't see the simplicity. They couldn't get started. It was too complex, so they quit. So that is my lesson to you. It is not only the fact that if you're feeling stuck, if you've already decided on, I'm going to create a thing instead of worrying about the thing, because that's a quick, easy way to get some of my information, some of my value out there to the people I'm trying to serve. then that is awesome. You know what you're doing. But then if you're like me and what I ran into, you may start to build too complex of a thing, whether it's a course, whether it's a group coaching, whether it's, an event presentation you're doing. No matter what you're doing, if you're making it too complex, you're going to paralyze yourself again. So you can then step back and remember, start with simple, then introduce complexity. Okay, start them in a simple way. And what you want to do, and this is important to the customer too, as I just showed you in that story. But what you want to do is just give the customer simple steps, something that's easy to implement and will create quick wins. When you do that, you're going to have people that continue. They're going to get big wins. So for one, that's going to make them very exciting. They're going to start to trust you more. They're going to believe in you and that what you're providing is valuable to them to help them achieve that result, that desired result that you are promising them, that you are taking them to, right? So once you do that, they'll stick around, they'll hang out more and more, they'll become a tribe of loyal followers for you. They will reach out and bring you other customers as well. So the biggest lesson that I wanted to share with you again, and I'm just going to say it again because I want to beat this into your head, because as I told you, it was really something that I learned probably 6 to 7 months ago, and I've already forgotten it because I was so caught up in my thing that I didn't think about the lesson that I had learned previously that was a very important lesson. And thanks to Russell Brunson and his podcast, that light bulb went off again. And I was like, wow, not only is this important to me as the entrepreneur to start with simplicity so I can start getting momentum, but the end result is even more important to the person I'm trying to serve, because they need simple wins, quick wins, and they need to see success fast. So start with simplicity, then introduce complexity. This works in your personal life, your business life, anything you're doing. Not only does it work for you, but it's going to work for the people that you are here to serve and here to help, so you can help them achieve the goals and the desired results that they need. Hope everybody has a great day. I hope you found value in this. If you haven't yet, go ahead and come over and join the Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, type in Profitable Purposeful Entrepreneur, and find the group. Come join us. We'd love to have you in there. It's a great supportive area. And then also, along with that, pretty soon I'm going to be introducing an early access to what I'm getting ready to put together for all of you. So I'll make sure, as a podcast listener, you get to find out first and make sure you're on that early access list, because it will be limited. I'm not ready to drop, the idea yet, but probably in the next 2 or 3 podcasts, I'm going to go in and share that with you. So hope everybody has a great, awesome day. Make sure to join the group, send me a message, introduce yourself, ask any questions. I'm here to help, here to serve you all. And I will talk to each of you soon. Have you joined our free online community for profitable, purposeful entrepreneurs yet? What are you waiting for? It's absolutely free. Just head over to Facebook right now. Go to the search bar, type in Profitable, Purposeful Entrepreneurs. You'll find the group. Join us. We'd love to have you in here. The community is great. You'll learn lots of valuable skills, strategies, ideas. You'll meet other purposeful, profitable entrepreneurs of every level, from those just starting out to those who have been in business for a while. And it's a great community, very supportive. Join us today. We look forward to seeing you there.